When we're talking about taxes on trusts, what you need to be aware of is that what type of tax applies depends on the type of trust. So let's say you have a revocable living trust. You don't have to worry about the tax implications of that trust. Why is that? Because it's a disregarded entity for tax purposes. Instead, when you file your income tax return, anything that the trust has in it or any income, it all flows through to you on your tax return. What if instead we are looking at a trust that's not a revocable living trust, but perhaps an irrevocable trust? Now that is a far different situation. Under the tax code, and there are exceptions for certain disability trusts, but for the most part, a trust which is an irrevocable trust has a very compressed tax rate level, which means the highest level of tax is something that for an individual they might have to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, applies when a trust has $12,000, for example. And of course, these numbers vary each year. So depending on when you're listening to this and what year it is in, you can always Google what those rates are. But the point of it is that income produced by an irrevocable trust gets taxed very, very heavily. So what can you do to avoid that situation? Well, expenses, of course, that are associated with the trust offset the income. But typically what happens is that any income that's earned that would be taxable to that trust isn't kept inside the trust. It is distributed out to the beneficiaries of that trust. And when that is distributed out to the beneficiaries, it's no longer the trust income subject to those high tax rates. Instead, it is now the income of the beneficiary and will be reported on the beneficiary's income tax return at their individual rate, which likely will be far lower than the trust compressed tax rate.